Hey, church family, we just wanted to bring you up to date with some things round about the coronavirus and our church gatherings. Obviously, it's been so prevalent in the news and in our conversations, and so we just wanted to kind of give you an update of where we were up to as elders in regards to all of those things. Really, our response to the coronavirus is primarily about caring for our immediate church family, and particularly those who are vulnerable because of age or because of illness, or pre-existing conditions. And so we want to take care of them, and we also want to be responsible members of our immediate community as well in regards to how we respond to these things. So those are things that are informing and are going to inform our approach going forward round about these things. We also want to be really informed by what we believe and the trust we have in God. So we want to avoid being fearful in our response, but we also recognize we need to be wise as we consider the different practical implications of something like coronavirus. So with those things in mind, we're going to take some steps on Sunday and going forward, which are hopefully going to be helpful just in terms of doing those things, of being wise and being helpful to those who are maybe more vulnerable in our church family, but also being responsible as part of the community that we live in. So here's some things we're going to do. We really value the welcome that we're able to give folks, and normally that would be a hug or a handshake, and for some people even a holy kiss. And obviously all those things are really biblical, but we really want to welcome people well, but also wisely. So we're going to say if we can avoid physical contact, that would be a massive advantage, and really in line with the kind of guidance we're getting from the healthcare professionals. So we want to encourage you a hearty hello. You got a few days now to work on this, but a winning smile or an air five if that's what you would prefer. Just taking the opportunity to be wise around about the kind of personal touch and personal contact piece of all of that. And with that in mind, we're also probably going to have a reduced stewarding presence at the different entrances, just to avoid multiple hands touching doors as much as possible. We'll probably leave doors open, so it might be a little bit drafty, or so you might want to consider coming dressed a little bit more warmly. We recognise it's normally cold anyway, but maybe just considering that as well. Just coming, nobody's going to look at you funny if you're wearing a hat or a scarf, just to kind of keep yourself cozy and amongst all of that. But just in terms of avoiding multiple touches on door handles and that kind of stuff, just to help with that. We are, as always, going to try and make sure the place is as clean as possible. We always want that, but I think we're going to give particular attention to that. A couple of things we're not going to do, which we normally would do. We're not going to pass offering bags, and we're not going to pass friendship registers, again, from hand to hand across rows. For those who want to make connections with the church, they'll be directed towards emailing the elders or myself or Lee. And if any of you have prayer requests, please email elders@harvestglasgow.org, and we would gladly pray for you. That's still our desire, is not to stop praying for you just because those things are not being passed anymore. And in terms of offering, if you're used to giving via the bag, then there's going to be an opportunity for you to do that. There'll be a place for you to do that without that kind of hand-to-hand contact piece of passing the bag. And we would always want to encourage you to be paying by automatic faithfulness. We call it automatic faithfulness because you have the opportunity to be faithful in your stewardship of your financial resources by giving by bank transfer. So if you want to get set up with that, we can certainly help you with that. If you email admin@harvestglasgow.org, somebody will be able to help you get set up with that. So a couple of things that normally would do. So offering bags aren't going to get passed. Stewarding, the friendship registers aren't going to get passed, and in terms of catering, we're going to serve tea and coffee, but we are going to, until further notice, we're not going to be serving food as part of that. So if you feel a snack, if you're prone to getting hangry after the service, or if you have kids who really will need the snack just to keep them going to allow you to hang out with for a little while after the service, then we'd encourage you to bring your own for that purpose. But we're not going to be serving them, just again to avoid multiple hands touching and the potential for cross contamination and transmission of germs and so on. Just trying to reduce the capacity for all of those things. If you, as is the advice going around just now, I just finished listening to the Prime Minister a short while ago. The advice is, if you have a persistent cough, a new and persistent cough, and if you have a fever or temperature, then you're to self-isolate for 7 days. We'd encourage you to do that. If you are fit into that category of being vulnerable, either because of age, I think the guidance seems to be over 60, or because of pre-existing health conditions which put you at risk, then the advice would be to stay home, and we'd want to encourage you to do that. And we will make every effort to get the sermon up as soon as possible for you to be able to listen back to that. If that's helpful for you, there'll be the usual Spotify playlists available to you as well, to be able to listen to worship music as well. Obviously, nothing can replicate gathering with God's people, but we look forward to being able to do that with us really soon, and we want to be as helpful as possible. So I think that's all that I've got for us just now. We are really trusting the Lord in amongst all of these things. This is a great opportunity for us to love our neighbour and to be looking out for the people round about us and seeing how can we care for the people who God has placed in areas round about us. So let's take the opportunity to do that well. And as we gather together on Sunday, let's take the opportunity to celebrate Jesus with one another. Maybe just to say as well, if you're wondering, the Andrew Peterson concert is going ahead on Saturday night as things stand, and we're excited to have him come along and join with us as well as part of our weekend. So those are just some things just to let you know about. If you have any questions, as ever, with any of these things, email elders@harvestglasgow.org, or feel free to get in contact with me directly, Scott@harvestglasgow.org, and we'd love to be able to serve you in whatever way we can. You're loved.